Hey, anyone out there? Oh, you know, just the rubbish men. Anyway, hi. It's been a long time. A very long time. We can talk about that later, but today I'm doing an art studio tour. Woohoo! Yeah! Between 1999 and 2011, this room was my bedroom. It was pink. In 2011, I moved out. This room was my brother's bedroom. It didn't belong to me anymore. And then eventually I came home around 2014. Then my brother left home, so this room became available. And in 2015, 2016, my dad and I turned this into the art room. We painted all the walls white. So for the last year and a half, this room has been a storage space and an art studio. But that's about to change. In about 2 weeks' time, I am moving out for good into my own place. I am so happy. I am bouncing off the ceiling. But before I move, I have to pack. And before I pack, I have to document. So I thought I would do an art studio tour. To be honest though, it's well overdue. And I think it's quite funny that I am doing it just before I leave. So in a way, this is where I have been as opposed to this is where I am. Regardless, I hope you enjoy. So in my room, I have 2 big desks. They look like one long desk along the wall. So this desk is my primary workstation, but this is not where I edit my videos. If you want to see the desk where I do my videos, click that up there, link in the video description. I did a desk tour of that recently as well. So this is my old Mac. It's so old. I should say that it is falling apart and doesn't run as well, so that's another reason why I don't use it for other work stuff. Because I can be quite a messy painter, I've tried to stick to painting on the left-hand side, and I usually paint whilst I watch programs or do live streams on Twitch, so my computer is also on that side of the desk. That's a good thing and a bad thing. Paint and electronics don't mix. My computer stuff is covered with paint. It's really old. I've knocked a few things over in my time. So far nothing's been broken. Now this computer chair I have had for about 5-6 years. Hello. My sister gave me her spinny chair and oh, I'm so happy. And it's on its last legs, literally, and it keeps sinking when I sit on it. So this is how high it should be, but then over the course of about 10-15 minutes, it goes like this. You don't notice until suddenly you're on the floor. We can't seem to fix it, which is annoying. Now because I've been sorting and packing, I have found more paintbrushes. I've accumulated more than I thought I had. Some of these I don't think I will be able to use, I need to go through them. But yeah, that's a lot of paintbrushes. And this jar is a repurposed Yankee Candle jar. We have my pig, it blares music. It's not Bluetooth, it's a old-fashioned 2010 iPod music speaker. So I use a auxiliary lead and I plug it into my Mac when I want to blare music. And it's still going after all these years, so I'm not going to get rid of it. We have business cards, stamps, and a big tub of Sharpies. There's far too many Sharpies in that box. And then if we go further that way, these are my art boxes. And they do slightly different things. This one is more pencils, pens, and then this is my watercolour box. It's like an art studio in itself. This is the first watercolour set I ever had. Well, apart from those ones we had in primary school. Hated those. And I have never, ever cleaned this. Because technically all the paint that you can see, all the mess, is paint. Why waste it? It's a loved palette. In this corner we have my easels. This one is huge. I've had this one for about 3 years, I reckon. My first one broke. I knocked it over at university. Insert clip. Whoa, no, I moved. Sorry. And the bottom never works again, whereas this one is literally one of those old-fashioned ones that just goes like that. No fancy base. Now this easel was given to me by my step-grandma, and I've yet to use it. Part of me is too nervous to use it. I don't want to break it. The sentimental value. Last year she gave me lots of art stuff and stopped painting. She was a talented, stunning painter. So part of me feels like when I start using this, in addition to some of the other stuff I have, it's like saying goodbye, in a way. But eventually I will use that. I will get over the nostalgia and the sadness. It needs to be used. We have my typewriter. Now, I bought this for £5 in a charity shop in 2009. It's so heavy, but it works. I find it therapeutic. Again, the zombiness. Typing out my feelings with a typewriter. I must admit that this is a bit annoying. When I bought it, I thought it would be more useful than it is. Part of me would like to get rid of this. But for now, I'm making use of it. I put stickers, stationery on the top, bubble wrap that I've cut up to put inside my boxes when I sell canvases on the second tray. And at the bottom, I have special Polly Pockets. They're not Polly Pockets, I forget the name off the top of my head, but when I sell prints, I put them in these. Going back to Twitch, cameras. So I have 3 cameras in total, 3 Logitechs. One of you sent me the black one, Thomas, and a slightly smaller one that I found in a charity shop. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Right, let's move over. This area is a bit mumble-jumbled, I must admit. It's all over the place. Now, over the last year or so, I have been collecting Bon Maman, hope I've said that right, jars, jam jars, and I've been using them as makeup brush pots, pen pots across the house. I love repurposing stuff, but they are perfect. That's what they look like with the red lids. I do keep the lids, they're in a box. There's some stuff in the cupboards below. And yes, I have wine on my desk. I love these bottles. I hate the wine. Is it Matthias? Matthias. In our very first art lesson at secondary school, we were told to draw these. They had them laid out on a desk. So for me, I associate this with starting arts at school. Art lessons in primary school were terrible, but in secondary school, they stepped up a notch. So I like having them in my art space. Also, they're nice to draw. That probably sounds silly, keeping wine in the art room. Maybe not. Painting whilst tipsy is an adventure. Drink safely. We've got linseed oil, which I will eventually use. Not yet. So the varnish that I have been using on paintings that are about the same size as this is the Winsor & Newton General Purpose High Gloss Varnish. I think this is a brilliant varnish. I don't know how to use it on bigger canvases though. I've just bought some bigger varnish that I can paint with. And I have more stuff here that I've not used yet. Some of it I don't know what it is. This is stuff that belonged to my step-grandma, so I've yet to explore all of that. That's why there is so much. Now let's move to the cupboard. Now this section is organised chaos. Everything's organised chaos, but you can see this is organised chaos. This shelf was originally the big unit in my parents' lounge. Mum painted it white and Dad cut off the top. They didn't know where to put it, it wouldn't fit in the garage, so they gave it to me. And I've tried my best to make use of this. I've struggled. Also, it's been hard not getting paint on this. Honestly, paint goes everywhere with me. This is something I can't wait to say goodbye to. Here we have a big box of oil pastels, things that I don't really use but I've had for a long time and can't let go of, just in case in the future I decide to experiment. I hate anything to do with pastels, crayons, clay. We have a few mats. Sometimes I've put this on the carpet. I tended to use this in my main bedroom when I was painting in there. I'd put that on the floor and then paint on top. We have some more stuff that I've been given and haven't been able to sort yet. Tape dispensers, more pastels. Here we have a crate full of oil paints. I'm too nervous to go through that. I really miss oil painting so much. More aprons, newspapers, and then we go up there. Up here we have a box of crepe paper, some bubble wrap. This is a box of palettes. I'm a palette collector. I reckon in the last year I've got rid of about 20 to 30 palettes over the last 15 years. Part of me sees them as work of art in themselves, especially clear palettes. They sort of create art underneath when you paint with acrylics. This may seem silly, but I like keeping art palettes from certain periods of my life, big art moments. So palettes from particular exams like GCSE, A-level, university. So this palette, for example, this was my palette from my exam in 2010. It took me a long time to start using that again on top. But yes, this pile is significantly less than what it used to be. And then this is my acrylic paint box. This is actually in the wrong place, that's gesso. I like buying the smaller tubes. So that's that. I won't deny this space has been fairly chaotic. sometimes to the point where it's prevented me from working or feeling able to work because I'm so overwhelmed in stuff. But when I move, I'm hoping that's going to change. Right now, I can see the carpet. For the last 3 months, I've had big crates here, ready to move, so they're now downstairs, full of stuff. But whilst I'm here, just admire the carpet. And last of all, cupboards, the wardrobes. Right now, the end 2 wardrobes are being used for storage, nothing art related. So that's not art, so I'm going to ignore those and just stick to these 3. What could be behind door number 1? Love Hercules. I'm just going to scoot you a bit closer. This is my print cupboard. Well, in this cupboard, I have prints spanning the last 2 years, lots of different designs. In the last 2 years, I have learnt a great amount about selling online and storing products. And with the space that I have, this is the best that I've come up with. It's not perfect, and it's also a combination of having too many prints. My favourite one, When in Darkness Look to the Stars. Oh, and those I absolutely love. In the future, I would love to do more stuff like this on larger scales. It's on my to-do list. I'd love to create a rucksack like that. I know I've said that before. And then right at the bottom, we have my badges, a big box. Again, this is the best storage I could come up with, a Lush box. I try not to move them about too much because I don't want to scratch them, but I try and keep them in their little bags like this. In the future, I would like to upgrade my storage system, but this is all I could manage for now. You can see yourself. Hey. So these 2 wardrobe doors are the most important in this room. Ta-da! So over the last 2 years, this wardrobe has been through I'm calling it wardrobe, cupboard. This cupboard has been through a few variations. I've organised it, my dad's organised it. My dad has OCD and this cupboard annoys him sometimes, so I can come in and find things in completely different places to where I left them. The top shelf is storage, light bulbs, stuff that's left over. Below it is sort of my abandoned shelf. It's all the stuff that I have finished painting and can't let go of, can't sell, can't give away. Paintings that I don't think I will ever finish. A few big canvases. We have this self-portrait from 2015. Caroline. I'd love to do more paintings like that. You can hear my brother. I painted this in early 2015. It's not the best I can do. I'd like to redo it. I love this sort of cartoonish style. If anything, I would love to be able to do that digitally, but I struggle with digital art. Below it is my storage space for all my brand new canvases. I know lots of people may look at that and think, Becca, have you got enough? But I live a long way from art supply stores and I don't like buying canvases online because the amount of times they've come in the post, like this for example, they haven't been made properly, so the canvas is slightly off. It's not 90 degrees. When I go shopping, I check all the canvases when I'm there. You can't do that with online shopping. You can take them back, but it's such an ordeal. So when I go shopping, I buy copious amounts. And I don't mind having more canvases in my cupboard than I need, because it means I always have canvases to paint with. It's the worst thing when you want to paint and you haven't got the materials, or you haven't got the stuff to paint on. So this way, if I want to paint, I can just reach in and grab something. I don't have to panic. I have a few different sizes, small ones. I'm starting to buy bigger canvases. When I was a teenager, all my paintings were massive. Some of them were bigger than I was. So you guys probably don't know that period of my life very well. The last 2 years I've done baby canvases, but in my history, I've been bigger. I don't know what I'm going to do about storage if I buy bigger canvases, but... Then the shelf below it is more admin for my art store when I post things. I have sellotape, hardback envelopes. In the last year or so I've been doing some craft fairs, so I have lots of bags there, bags for badges, bags for prints. And that continues down below. I have lots of flat pack cardboard boxes. So I buy them off Amazon, off the internet like this, and then when someone buys something, I turn it into a box. Like this. It's like Blue Peter this. Here's one I made earlier. Saves on space keeping them like that. And then at the very bottom is all my art stuff across my life. That's unorganised. Art books, paintings on paper, drawings. I need to sort that before I move. That's on my list. And that is it. That brings me to the end of the art studio tour. Hooray! I really hope you've enjoyed this. I have. I feel a bit sad now I filmed this. It's time to pack it up. Just now, before I filmed this, my brother came in, so I'm going to insert some clips now.
I didn't go to Sussex.
So this has been my bedroom and your bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take it over when I go? Love the fact, yeah, you can see your head there.
We shall see. I'm taller than you.
I know. Oh, you're cold. You need to sort of duck down.
See?
Come a little bit further back. Right. This may not be in focus, but whatever.
When we swapped over, the room was painted again, and so most of the walls were blue. Okay, well, blue is the most soothing colour, and I wanted it all white. I like white because white is like, it's reaffirmation that it's a blank slate. So it's like...
Well, I think the room looks bigger when it's white.
Yeah, it opens it up a lot more. I mean, the thing is with white as well is that it's clean. So I find it as a reminder...
You've not seen the paint on the walls over there. But in terms
Do
of
you know
mess,
what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Is this room tidy? Does it look tidy to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks very tidy.
Thank
That's
you.
the nice
Been
thing that you've
working
done
hard
with...
on it.
The nice thing that you did with the art room is that you put all of the stuff in the cupboards. Auf Wiedersehen.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Привет, как дела? Depends if your viewers are Russians.
Yeah, I do have a lot of Russian viewers.
No, как дела? Is my accent alright? I don't know. We'll see. Budushkish, burushkish.
Is it Das Vidania? Das Vidania?
Das Vidania, yeah.
Okay, I have to go now. So this is my end card. You can support me on Patreon by clicking that. There's some more videos there. And that's it. Bye bye everyone.